Hello, I'm Amanda Foltz, and I spent my internship at Sue Sossman Early Childhood Center in Gilbert, Arizona. In this presentation, I will be sharing particular findings of the books I found in my internship's preschool class and make recommendations to replenish certain sections that I feel could use extra accommodations. Out of the 50 books I chose at random, 15 were human male characters and 12 human female characters. The numbers of female and male characters were almost equal, but when it came to main characters, males outflanked females from 23 to 11. What was more interesting, however, was that there were more non-human main characters than both male and female characters. On the section of race, many characters were primarily a white or non-human character. 19 characters were white and 25 were non-human. On the basis of race, there was only 3 African American characters, 1 Asian character, and 1 character that was Hispanic. There were no books I could find that had Middle Eastern or indigenous characters. The category with the most tallies were books that were set in rural areas. I tallied 22 books that were set in rural areas, 10 were set in urban areas, and 18 were set in suburban areas. I did not find any books that were set in a desert, mainly because many of the characters were non-human, either living in a setting on land or under the sea. As you can see, there are no findings on my book section involving religion. I did not see this as alarming because there are not a lot of schools who would have this type of section in a preschool classroom. Surprisingly enough, I did not see any books in my selection portraying anyone with a disability. This alarmed me because of the increasing amount of children that are now being diagnosed with some form of disability. Since many of the characters in my book selection were predominantly non-human, I didn't have family structures other than a mother, father, and children home structure. Characters in the LGBT community were also not seen. In the AM class in my placement, it is made up of 10 boys and 6 girls. There are 12 white children and 4 of other races. Although this book selection is predominantly non-human talking animal characters, there is not a lot of representation for the students of other races. My recommendations for books about disabilities is A Friend Like Simon by Kate Gannett. It is about an autistic child joining a general education classroom. The story encourages children to be patient and open of existing differences and how to fully appreciate them. For family structures, I suggest My Family, Your Family by Lisa Bullard. This story is about a little girl named Michaela visiting her friends in the neighborhood and seeing how many families are different from her own. But how diverse the characters in this book are, it gives children a new point of view of how many families can be alike or different. For race, I recommend The Day You Begin by Jacqueline Woodson. This is a story about an African American girl worrying that she will be an only in her class regarding her skin color, accent, and the food she brought in her lunchbox. The book's message in its entirety is that there is no one like you until you begin or share your story. Children are always in need of a good story, and literature is vital for a child's development. It can be a big impact on a child when they see stories showing relatable experiences. In the 50 books I selected, they mainly demonstrated a mirror because they were showing experiences that would be relatable, despite those experiences being depicted by non-human characters. By that argument, they cannot exactly act as a window because they didn't portray race, culture, or gender in a broader view. With my recommendations in the previous slide, children will have an expansive view of the differences in the world in positive ways.